Okay, so I did fire and earth the other day. They are both up on my YouTube at the Zero Manifested, if anybody's fire or earth signs, and they happen to come across this. Make sure you just, and check that out over there. Obviously, these lives, I only typically, once in a while, if I feel called, I'll share them to a different group, but I'll only share them really to the Cosmic Gang group, and then maybe the Cosmic Gang Virtual Coven, because my sister runs that group. Okay, let's get into state. I just want to thank my higher self, your higher self, for alignment. Air signs are a little resistant, so these are my Libras. I don't know why air and water are always mixed like this in my head. My Geminis and my Aquarius. Libras, Geminis, Aquarius. Libras, Geminis, Aquarius. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. And I'm basically just connecting with the energy of those air signs. Okay, all right. We got a nice opening. Thank you, Great Mother. I just want to thank also the Divine for the opportunity to share this message today. Feels like some really good energy is rising up. I'm loving it. And I just want to ask that whoever this video is meant to touch, even if it's a cross watcher, even if people have significant placements for the air signs in their chart, I just want to ask that those people find their way to this video, and that they do get something of value out of it, something that helps them somehow along their path, along their journey, that any questions people may be having or any internal struggles or whatever they're not seeing be revealed and put right there for them so that they can, work on those things spiritually and grow. Thank you so much, Great Mother, Divine Mother. Her energy is so great right now. Thank you, Source. I want to thank my higher self, your higher selves. Oh, the Dark Goddess. Hello, my love. I want to thank her too. Hi. Okay, let's get started. Hey, Aisha. Aisha being nosy today, huh? All right, so we're going to start with our air signs. And like I said in our little, starting point. Whoa, stuck energy. See this, how the cards won't go? That's stuck energy. But let's clear that out a little bit. Because it's funny too how the energy is moving. Typically the cards will actually get stuck. Air signs had a beautiful reading last week that none of them wanted to watch because it's dealing with love, and that's like icky to them, and they're like, oh, love, so yeah, multiply the positive energy, positive vibes. I'm here for it. So you see, so there's probably some indecision or something like that going on. I'm gonna actually bend these the other way. We keep getting the Lover's card at the bottom of the deck, so I'm gonna leave it there. And you see, I'm moving the cards around. I'm moving them all over the place, and so we're still dealing with love, it looks like, with the air signs. And when I see the Cosmic Tarot like us first, I'm like, interesting. Also, now is a good time to fast and or to just consume more fruits and vegetables and do deep breathing. That's a message that's coming from Spirit. Really a good time to align the soul and the body as one unit. And this will increase your force spiritually. So like real spiritual gifts like telekinesis. We have the Moon card coming up. Telekinesis, telepathy, your psychic abilities and stuff. All that stuff will, when you start to align the mind, soul, and body, all those gifts start to come online. And alignment is, to a certain extent about healing. Because what is unhealed, those energetic blockages remain in the body. So yeah, wow. Air signs. And like, for me, my rising is in Aquarius. And then I had a progression with my sun sign into Aquarius. We have the Three of Swords. And air signs do tend to deal with, so I have a lot of Aquarian energy. Also, my Venus is in Aquarius, which is odd because the one thing that means the most to me is personal freedom. And in life, I never, even though I'm not the type to like go and cheat on people or be deceptive, I'll just be honest. You know, my younger years, I was maybe a little different, but you know, as I've grown, I learned that it's just better to be honest, and it's really dealing with your healing and stuff. Ten of Swords. So we have some dark energies coming through for air signs. So a partner that gives me great conversation, intellectual, spiritual, connected conversation, that's where I find love. And then also, the Hermit. I'm actually going to clarify with Golden Tarot. It must be that we have big themes coming up for air signs. Huh. This is so exciting. I get way too excited about tarot. I'm like... Spirit is saying, I know what Ten of Swords is. This card freaked me the freak out when I first got it. So we got the Strength card. The Strength card's been coming out a lot. The Strength card came out for our fire signs. And fire signs, at the bottom of the deck, and fire signs were really, really dealing with, I called the video Dangerous Passions. Because dealing with some stuff that was like heavy as far as and it was a Pisces that was like tricking them, or a Piscean type illusionary energy, and I believe that we are in a Neptune retrograde right now, so that does make a lot of sense. That's probably why this Moon card came up too. So we have, oh, this is kind of good, we have Eight of Swords reversed. Okay, Spirit is saying one more, and then we'll move on to our clarifiers. Hangman reverse. Interesting. Like, what is unhealed right now? Then obviously the Lovers at the bottom of the deck. So let's use the Golden Tarot to clarify some interesting energies. Some interesting energies. There's energies of the other. These illusion energies are strong right now. And I don't, it's like disillusion for my air signs. I'm definitely feeling more of a disillusion. Oh, but these are moving. Okay, this is good. Like I said, there was some stuck energy, but it's sort of moving now. Okay, Spirit clarifiers for the Moon card. This one. Damn, that's crazy, because Judgment was at the bottom of the deck, and now it came up clarifying the Moon card. And then the second clarifier will probably give us what's going on. And then Two of Pentacles, it's looking like balance. All right, I'll pull one more clarifier. This definitely needs it. Because we have the Three of Swords next, which is heartbreak, but in the Cosmic Tarot, when you have those three like dark figures, it feels more like occult secrets, or yeah, absolutely. Oh my god, I think I have a stellium with Capricorn, so let's like, and then we have 10 of Pentacles reversed. So the moon card, when it's upright, can really deal with a state of heavy illusion or illusory thoughts. So I believe this is why the judgment card came up. So of a, not a warning, but Spirit is sort of like air signs, so you don't kind of get lost in the realm of imagination or the mind. It's going to be super, super important to use your discernment and your judgment. I believe this is what this message is saying. And then we have Two of Pentacles upright, which is good because then this is going to bring you to a state of balance. You know what I mean? So then you'll be able to get to a state of balance. So instead of being overcome by the moon or overcome by illusory energies, your energy will sort of balance itself out. And you'll be able to walk your middle path instead of getting too caught up in light or dark energies. That's what's probably going to start happening on social media now. People are going to... Okay. Social media is an interesting experiment for me, honestly. And then I also have the 10. So you may not be as concerned about legacy building right now, or you might go about it in a way that is of a detriment to you. Pentacles. I feel like there's just no thought about it. And if it's coming up, then Spirit is asking us to give some attention to the long term and not to be so frivolous and stuck on what's happening short term. Now, there's Three of Swords. Let's go. Oh, damn. That's the Tower card at the bottom of the deck. Let's look at this three. I love this book. Three of Swords real quick. I just love the way they give the descriptions of the cards. Lack of mercy, separation, alienation, grief, error, absence, sorrow, locked up emotions. Okay, yeah, locked up emotions, self-righteousness, removal. For air signs, this is accurate because I do stuff like this sometimes where I'm like, emotions, fuck that shit. Conscious insight, decisive realization. A sense of a ritual is given by their clothes, their rigid posture. The woman is completely covered from head to toe, concealing whatever emotions she may feel at the vis section of the flower. The rose in Western culture is a symbol of emotional and physical passion. It is also to the West what the lotus is to the East, an emblem of spiritual unfoldment and vulnerability. Oh, wow. So, all right. So let's see what's going on surrounding those energies. There may be something that my air signs are not facing emotionally. Like I said, it feels like there's something... Oh, man. The tower's still there. It feels like there's something in the dark or something that's hidden. That's why I use the term occult, because occult just means hidden. Okay. That you can sort of feel. It feels like the air signs can sort of feel. Like, damn, I know that there's something that's up, but I just can't figure out what the hell it is. And then we have this is our Page of Swords reversed. Interesting. Okay, and let's do one more clarifier. Okay. Yeah, and then the King of Swords reversed. Yeah, so that's why this Moon card came up first, because this disillusion is like a big theme right now. Being disillusioned. This card's want to shuffle again. Being disillusioned or being so illusory that we're not really focused on what matters. And right now for air signs, that's like not the place that you want to be. You don't want to be in a space of disillusion. And like I said, if you have significant air placements in your chart, then it's going to be really important. There may be, find out which house it's in, and this will affect you in that particular area. So, of your life. So we got Three of Swords upright, right? And then there's some sort of ritual being done. And this is like being tender-hearted and being vulnerable, and then sort of having your passion or your vulnerability taken for weakness. So being that my air signs usually are well endowed with clarity of thought, this Neptune retrograde is affecting you by not bringing you the clarity that you're used to. You know what song that just reminded me of? Age of Aquarius. Because they go, when the moon is in the, what does she say? 7th house. That's you right now. But it's like Aquarius in the 7th house. All right. So that's why we're having, no, I can't start over, but we're still pretty much at the beginning, honestly. We're still, so we have the Page of Swords. Like, I'm only into my second row here, and I think there's like 7 cards here. So we have the Page of Swords. So there may be, due to not dealing with like the emotional vulnerability, there may be a sort of block of new ideas at this time. And then we have King of Swords reverse, and so this is also like a dual message, not to allow people to overstep boundaries. That's the message I'm getting from Spirit with this, is not to allow people to overstep boundaries because your guard is sort of down right now, since you're dealing more in the emotional and intuitive realm with the Moon card. And Spirit is saying, even though you're dealing with the emotion intuitive realm, you still need to have discernment, because the Moon is clarified by judgment. So, yeah, see, and then we're getting 10 of Swords here. So I'm kind of thinking like, somebody's hiding something. Like somebody has, I don't want to use the term malicious intent, but that's kind of what it feels like. Or like they don't have your best interest at heart. And when because you're dealing more with your emotional, spiritual realm, your guard is a little down. You're a little more vulnerable, air signs, or open. I'm hearing like arcanic attack. So just, deal with your emotions and your vulnerability and handling that stuff, but also be on guard, because some of these people are going to come to you, or there may be past people coming back, and it's just not an energy you sort of want to play with. Like somebody might even try and play with your mind, or make it seem like, oh, like they know something that's so secret and mysterious. And like, obviously, if you're someone that's into thought and into like new ideas, and that's where you find your passion, you're just going to want to be a little careful. And using your discernment is important. You have a keen sense of wisdom and logic available to you, so definitely tap into that. Now, when we see this 10 of Swords, it freaks me the fuck out, this card. I hate even looking at it. When I first got the deck, I was like, 10 of Swords is destruction. Like I said, it's like almost like this person or these people or these energies want to cause you some sort of destruction. Ugh. And then it's really like, I mean, like this guy's like out in the sun, swords all over the place, and he's being burned to death. So what was meant to nourish him and give him energy sort of overdid it. And it could be overthinking as well. Overthinking. Or the past, overthinking about things even in the past. And, being nostalgic, going back into memories, that can nourish you sometimes. But when we overdo it, that's what hurts us. But it's also somebody, like I said, it could be an energy, an archonic energy that's latched onto someone, or sort of reptilian consciousness. So they may be dealing with like a slight possession and not know it. Most people are dealing with that and don't know it on small levels. And all I can say is that this energy is coming for you. And then we have 8 of Pentacles reversed. And let me do another clarifier, because this was disconcerting for me. And then look, now the Tower was upright, now it's reversed. Like, things are happening. Yeah, I be going in because I want to know what's happening, and I channel while I do these, so I'm feeling into the energies. Like I'll feel and I'll get images and stuff from specific situations. Isn't it crazy how it goes though? Like it's just crazy to me, like how. And I don't like when people hide from me. And like spiritually, I can feel it when somebody is hiding, but I can also like channel into your subconscious mind and figure out what you're hiding. So might as well not tell lies because I'm gonna know. Then we have the Sun card. It's the happiest card in the deck. Okay, so through this destruction and that overthinking, we start to do some inner work. That's what this feels like. That's interesting. Because it's like, even though this is coming against you, if we get the Sun card here, this feels like the divine. Right. This feels like the divine sort of steps in and is like, no. No. So we have the Eight of Pentacles here, clarifying the Ten of Swords. Also, too, you might have been working yourself a little too hard or working too much in the physical realm. So you weren't able to concentrate on like people and like your life and like, you know, personal stuff. But this feels like a divine protection. Like the Sun card's coming in. So you are very protected at this time. It's just coming through as a divine protection. So Spirit is like, this is what's actually happening, but hey, don't worry, I got your back. And these situations that happen and these energies that you're battling for real, because it feels like a spiritual battle. It's leading you back into yourself to do your inner work, right? This is what this feels like too, to an extent. You're like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about these swords. I'm not going to worry about this ending. I'm not going to worry about this destruction. I feel good about myself and I love myself. It's this feeling of self-love that comes through once we sort of let go and don't allow these negative entities to affect us. And then you have this divine protection with the Sun card. And like I say, I read the card based on the energies that they're giving me. And when I saw this Sun card, I just felt like like there was a golden shield for you. Oh, hit me up after, Aisha, and we'll talk about it, because that's interesting. Good he was burning. So then next we have the Hermit card, right? So we get this spiritual protection. We're protected from this destruction that these people want. They're preying on our downfall, so to speak. And then we have the Death card in reversed. Interesting. Yeah, so there's a lot of death and ending, Scorpio-like energies from air signs, and air signs can handle this. They're air signs are really strong and really strong enough to handle. They almost like it, honestly. And you can talk to any air sign when there's like espionage, or if they're dealing with like intrigue and stuff like that, they're like all into that shit. They're like, oh, mind games? Bring it on, bitch. I am here for it. I will win. My air signs are all into that. Okay. And then we have the Four of Pentacles reversed. Great card. So you're not even going to be stressing over money. You're not going to be... And then the Hermit also is Virgo. I don't know if I showed you guys this beautiful Hermit card. Let me throw him back up again. I love him. He's like a sage. And then that is the Death. And then we have the Death card reversed. And then I swear Spirit be testing me with these cards, because they put shit that shouldn't even be congruent. Hey, what's up, Rick? Spirit be putting shit that like shouldn't even be congruent in the mix. And it's like, read these cards, Isabel. And I'm like, bitch, I got this. Like, because my cards always come out with weird pairings, like all the time. Yeah, that's Virgo energy. Don't say it too much about my base of Virgo. Oh, and then we have Five of Cups at the end. We still got this Tower at the bottom of the deck here. And then we had the Lovers on the other deck. Strangest thing. So I think my my air signs are like, no, we're not dealing with the love stuff this week. We got real life shit to deal with here, bitch. So when I see the Hermit here upright, that's obviously going within, being to yourself. That's obviously going within, being to yourself. And then when we have the Death card reverse, typically this could be a resistance, but I feel like it's not so much. It's a slight little, for a small percentage, might be having some resistance of letting go old patterns, old ways of thinking, and old habits. But this is really showing up for me as and it's funny too, because doesn't this look like the rose that was being stabbed before? Right? And it's like tying it in together, like, okay, these people were trying to like take advantage of your vulnerability, but you were setting up these parameters and blocks and stuff, going within, and instead of allowing that negative energy to come in and make you put up these walls and stuff around your heart and around where you're vulnerable, you go within, and it's like almost reveling in the vulnerability. It's like, you know what? I'm going to be vulnerable within myself. So that's interesting. And then that's really going to help. The more and more, I feel like something with the breath, the more and more you breathe into your chakras and breathe into your energy body, and just breathe, like in, pull in, and then allow the negative energy to sort of soak itself into the air, and then breathe out. So it's like pulling in any negative energies in my body, anything that doesn't belong there, anything that puts me out of alignment, let it go. Okay, so then we have 4 Pentacles reverse. Interesting. Followed by the 5 of Cups upright. So you're going to reach a point where you're being vulnerable, you're inside of yourself, you're making those inner changes to end those old cycles. Something around money comes up, because this guy is the stingiest guy in tarot. 4 Pentacles, like, he doesn't recognize the abundance he has all around him. And it's funny too, because he doesn't even have like nice shoes on. He has some little bitch ass chancletas on, and it's like he can afford all these beautiful clothes and everything. But if you're out there and you have to pull this wagon with all this money, shouldn't the most important thing you have invested in be your shoes? And instead he's standing on top of coins. So when I look at this, it makes me feel like there's some sort of, and it did come reverse, so it makes me feel like there was some sort of programming or misconception around money, and it's something that you need to release at this time. And you were always feeling at a loss when it comes to your finances, or like you really didn't have enough. Yeah, you're always feeling at a loss with finances, or for some people, this is a very, very this is why it's important right now to go within and be the Hermit. That's why that's the theme here, because it's such a small little bit of programming. You know how like you could put a whole machine together, right? Take all the parts, put it all together. If one little thing is misaligned, it may not make the whole thing work. So it's like almost like you have to flip this one little switch, my air signs, and it'll change your perception around manifestation. And instead of hoarding and holding on to things, you're going to learn how to manifest in a bigger, broader sort of way. And then you have to deal with this concept of loss that you've been feeling. Deal with the concept of emptiness. Emptiness is a good concept for you to meditate on at this time. Because in the emptiness, in the void, you'll be able to find your wholeness again. And also to start to appreciate what you do have. Because remember, even though in the 5 of Cups, even though 3 cups, he's crying over spilled milk, the 3 cups that are spilled over on the ground, the stuff that didn't work out, but he's got 2 whole cups there that he's not seeing. So we have Strength card here, right? And her crown chakra, that is a serpent on the crown, and then she has the sun right over her head. So this is symbolizing a being that's actually fully awakened. And the lion is her protector, and he has the crown of Shiva there. The trident of Shiva representing strength. This woman is a being who is strong in her spirituality, and not just in an intangible way, in a very real, very tangible way. This is representing her connection to the divine, the fact that her third eye and crown is open. So let's clarify. That's oh, we already had one clarifier for it. A Six of Pentacles reverse. Okay, let's see. That's the concept of giving and receiving. We'll see why it's reversed in just a second, because I'm going to clarify. Okay, and then we have Four Swords reversed. So you're going to be coming out of meditation. So this inner strength and inner wisdom that you gain, and it's funny too, because it's like the Hermit, and the Strength card is dark and light. It's intuitive inside, that insight that you're receiving, and then the light side is now that you receive that insight in your inner world, you can come out and really show what you are. Stand in your strength, standing on your square in the outer world. Now, the concept of giving and receiving being reversed is understanding the law of rhythm. Yep. It's understanding the law of rhythm and the fact that everything, even with money, even with life, it ends up being an ebb and flow. And with this new knowledge that you receive about the law of rhythm, you can look up Hermetic texts. And that's really going to, and then you'll be able to come out, and then this Four Swords is actually coming out of a meditation, coming out of overthinking. I mean, you've put a lot of effort into thinking about this, and I feel like Spirit was just like, here, check out the law of rhythm, really meditate on it, really take that in and make it part of your consciousness, and it's going to help you to stand in your power and shine your light the way that you really want to. I feel like you have created your own blocks, and it's just time to remove them. And it's almost like you created this state of like, this is what causes the Ten of Swords moment. The destruction is because you created within you a state of self-pity. And it's just time to, you know what? I'm not going to blame anyone. I'm going to just figure this out for myself. Yeah, so that's a beautiful healing message. Thank you, Spirit. We have Eight of Swords reverse. All right, my air signs are starting to drain me. I gotta move on. Oh, water signs are gonna be worse, because water signs' fucking emotions be all over the place. Let's see what that's about. Three of Cups reverse. Okay, you're gonna be separating from some people, because Eight of Swords was upright for my air signs, I think a week or 2 weeks ago. I'm pretty sure it was last week. So when I look at Eight of Swords upright, I know that there's a mental trap, an emotional trap. You and someone else not communicating, not and feeling into, because their feet are on water, but they're trapped by these swords. So it's like overthinking a situation, but nobody's talking about it. Beautiful. So I think that in that situation where you were dealing with, where you really had to say some words and you really just didn't know like how you wanted to say it, but you knew what you were feeling was real, and you started following your intuition, just had the conversation you needed to have, we had the Three of Cups reverse. So I know this is like canceled parties, canceled celebrations, whatever. This means that you took matters into your own hands, said what you had to say or whatever, and made a break from certain individuals. Could have been the Three, because we got that Three right. Okay, I gotta show you guys this, because that's kind of crazy. But remember, we had these demonic ass arcanic ass looking Three of Swords, and then now we see the Three of Cups being reversed. And it could be too that you might have thought that this looked beautiful, it looked enticing, it looked like something you wanted, but like this is what was hiding behind that. So for some people, I think that's going to be a big like, oh shit. However, now that you've gone within, I mean, damn, my air signs had a whole journey this week. Now that you go within, you can now balance the dark and light consciousness, the conscious and subconscious mind. You can start being in a space of mastery and wisdom, and you're dealing with your intuition, but with wisdom, not just going here, going there, allowing the moon to control what are the planets or whatever energy. You don't have to let those things influence your life. Like being the high priestess, this energy coming through is divine feminine energy, and realizing that, like, no, this is why the moon is at her feet, right? The moon is at her feet because she is the goat or the god of all things, or the master of all things, through her wisdom and her spirituality and the balance that she's achieving. So this is sort of where my air signs are going, because they took that extra step and removed those negative people from their life. Now, we have the Hangman reversed. So let's see why that's coming up. And this might be for another group of air signs, or it feels kind of like minor. But nevertheless, if Spirit wants this message out, it's important for you. I just can't believe one person could go through all this in like a week. So we have Victory reversed. The Six of Wands. Oh, I know why this popped up. Okay, let's see if I'm right. I'm going to pull one more. And you know what's funny? I just looked at Aisha's comment, distractions. Yeah, with this Hangman reversed. And I know that you put that like probably way before. Having to defend. So this is going to go into actually this is like a week and a half. This is like at the end of going through all this. Then this is sort of like the next step to all that. Five of Pentacles. Okay. And I didn't show you guys the cards, but Seven of Wands is having to defend, because we have Victory reversed, then we have Seven of Wands, then we have Five of Pentacles. Remember, Neptune's in retrograde. And I don't know if we're going to have another retrograde coming up within the next week and a half, but I want you to be aware of these energies. So this is all backtracking. This is all backtracking. This is like you went through all this, you got it, but for some reason you didn't ground it. It was up in the air, pun intended. So, yep, and then there's a slowdown of energy because of that. The bottom of the deck, Tower reversed, and then you also had the Lovers here. So it's interesting to sort of get opposites, and the Lovers came out upright, right? The Lovers and Cosmos upright, and then here Tower reversed, which is like inner destruction, or it's actually going with it to change your reality, and you've been doing a lot of that lately. Like it's almost like, oh yeah, it's going around. But when I see this Five of Pentacles here, and then I see an Eight of Swords, so you go through all this stuff, you have these realizations, you have these breakthroughs, but for some reason, air signs, you're not grounding them. So it's like, even though you're going through all this, even though you're having all these breakthroughs, you have to ground what you're learning. You have to make it a part of yourself, even if you have to create a routine around it, like changing up certain words in your vocabulary. And say you have a jar of quarters, and like every time I use the word broke, or every time I use a word that doesn't imply that I love myself, I'm going to put a quarter in my jar. Or I'm going to do something so that I remind, like, so that I'm always constantly, or I say one bad thing about myself, or I say one bad thing, or like I use negative self-talk, I say three good things to balance it out. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Because when I see the Hangman reverse, this is a resistance to surrendering. So you did all this, and then at the end, you just go right back. It's like right back. Not completely, though. Not completely. But I'm saying there's a possibility of it here. And then we have Six of Wands reverse. So it is what it is. It's literally victory in reverse, or having a hard time getting to the victory, dealing with many obstacles. And then that's clarified by Seven of Wands, which this is rare to get one right after the other like this, from the same suit. Which seven, and this is upright. So Seven of Wands is actually having to defend your victory. So yeah, this is having to defend. You need to defend and your victories. This is a whole week of, it almost feels like a lifetime of victories. Like everything comes to a head and now you have to maintain that. You know what I mean? You have to defend your victories, because if not, five of, and I mean spiritually. This is not a material thing, it's spiritual. So it's something that where you're literally changing your consciousness forever in the most positive way to align you closer to your own soul. That's why these are coming out like this, and that's why I'm this message, because it's so much bigger than just the material. It's literally your soul. It's literally your soul's evolution that you're working with. So when I see this, and this is going to be the test, Five of Pentacles. This is going to be the test, scarcity, the test. And it could be something so small it comes up. But if you can't, in the face of that, whatever it is, if you can't hold on to everything that you've learned and stand strong within yourself, you're just going to keep getting tested. Because once you have all these big breakthroughs and realizations, you have to ground it and maintain it. And the maintaining part is where we all get tested. So you're going to be tested. You're going to want to test yourself anyway to ensure that there really is a significant change. And then we have Eight of Wands here, slowdown of energy. And then that's coming over Five of Pentacles. So it's like, because we have Eight of Wands reverse, sorry. Usually when it's upright, it's actually quickening. So instead, we're getting like a slowdown of energies. And the slowdown is to help you ground all the lessons that you've been learning lately. And you need a minute to pause. I think journaling or even writing a little autobiography about the last like year or two would really, like, even if it's just little notes or whatever, would really help my air signs. Even if you just take a voice recorder and you're like, okay, I went through this year. You sit and you just talk it out. You can talk to the air. Just talk it out. It's going to help you ground everything that you learned, because you're not paying attention enough to how far you've come and how different you are even now compared to you were at one point. So the slowdown, I feel like, is going to be more of a gift where you could actually go within and begin to sort of do a review of your own self. So that's what I'm seeing for air signs. Woo!